Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are going to start the topic handling data. Handling data is a very important topic that is widely used in mathematics and in the practical life. To understand this topic, there are some vocabulary words that first we need to understand. The first vocabulary word is data. Data is information collected by counting or measuring. The information collected by counting or measuring. For example, we have a class of students, and in the class of students, a teacher took an exam. And in this exam, different students get different marks. And teacher writes these marks in an arranged way. We can say that arranged way of putting the marks as data. Now there are different ways to show the data. The first way to show a data is table. Tables are very famous and easy to draw. We can show the data in detail by using a table. Let's have a look at example. Like you can see in this picture, this information is shown in the form of the table, where some values are recorded and we just put them in the table. Table, we say, is a way of showing data in rows and columns. So what we did, we just draw the data in the form of the rows and the columns. Like if we read it in this way, we will say these are the rows. This is row 1. I can say this is row 1. This is row 2 of the table. And this is row 3 of the table. This is row 3. And columns, the vertical arrangement of the data will be column. Like this is, for example, I will say these numbers 1, 3, 4 have been arranged in the column, and these numbers are arranged in another column. Now the table are of different form. One type of the table are tally table. In tally tables, we use the numbers in the form of the tally. For example, if we have the number 1, the tally for the 1 is only one line. If we have the number 2, the tally for the number 2 is, we will draw 2 lines. The tally for the number 3, we will draw 3 lines. The tally for the number 4 is, we will draw 4 lines. And the tally for number 5 will be, we will draw 4 lines and 1 line to cut them. The tally for the number 6 will be first we will draw in the same way as the tally for number 5 and then one more. That will be tally for 6. The tally for number 7 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And for example, if we have to draw the tally for number 10, we will draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is tally for number 10. Look at this table shown here. In this table, I will draw an information or data about the students in different sections of class 4. Let's suppose there are 11 students in class 4A, and there are 9 students in class 4B, and 12 students in class 4C, and 15 students in class 4D. So let's draw the tally for them. If I have to draw the tally for them, for number 11, the tally will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The tally for 9 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Tally for number 12 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And the tally for number 15 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So it means whenever we have to draw the tally for any numbers, for the first 4 numbers we will just draw the 4 lines, and for the fifth number the fifth line will cross, so that will be tally for the number 5, and it will continue in the same way. Another type of the data are bar charts. We can also draw the data in the form of the bar charts. Bar charts also help us to understand the data, to calculate the information about different activities. It can help us to count easily, or to compare to quantities easily. A bar chart is shown in the diagram. You can see this is a bar chart about number of buses, cars and vans. The height of the bar chart will tell us about the number. It will tell us how large a quantity is. If we look at this data, we can say the number of cars are more than the number of vans and number of buses. And if we compare the vans and buses, so the data can let us know that the number of vans are more than number of buses. Now the bar for the buses, if we draw a line from here, you can see it is going to be equal to 4. So I can say the number of buses are 4. And if we look for the car, if I will draw from the top of the bar a line, it will go halfway between 8 and 10, that is 9. So I can say number of cars are equal to 9. And if I look at the bar chart for the vans and draw a straight line from here to read the data, it is again halfway between 4 and 6. So I can say the number of vans are equal to 5. So in this way, the bar charts also help us to view the data easily. Looking at the data, one can easily identify the type, one can easily know about the numbers, or it become easy to compare the data. If an information is not in form of the data, then information become more difficult and ambiguous or difficult to understand. While studying any bar chart, one thing that you have to keep in mind, a bar chart has two things. One thing is, for example, if I will draw a bar, so the bar will have two things. It's in the rectangle shape. It has a width and it has a height. This is the height of the bar. For any number of bars, if we show the data by using any number of the bars, one thing should be very clear, that the width of each bar in a bar chart should be equal. Like you can see here, we have this bar chart for buses, cars and vans. So the width of each bar is equal. The height can be different. And one more thing, the gap between each bar should be equal. Like the gap between these two bars, between the buses and car bars, and the gap between vans and car bars is equal. So two things, the width must be equal for all bars, and the gap between the bars should always be equal. Like let's say if I will draw a bar chart here, and in the bar chart I'm going to draw the two bars. So the bar should be drawn in this way, that for each bar the width of the bar should be equal, and the gap between each bar will also be equal. Look at this diagram. This diagram shows a bar chart. If you look at this bar chart, you can see the width of each bar chart is equal. We have the four different bar charts, A, B, C and D. The width of each bar chart is equal, and the gap between each bar chart is also equal. And if we have to read this bar chart, we can see here the height of the bar chart will tell us about the numbers. Like if I will draw a straight line from here, you can use the scale to check if it is on the paper. So it is halfway between 400 and 600. So I can say the height of the bar A in the bar chart is equal to 500. And if I look at the B, if I draw a straight line from B, it is slightly behind 400. And so you can say approximately it is almost, if I divide it into such equal intervals, each interval I can draw almost 4 equal intervals for them. So I can say the height of this one is almost 350. If we look at the bar C, the height of the bar will go almost halfway between 800 and 1000. So that will be approximately 900. In the same way, if I look at the bar D and draw a straight line from the bar D, so it will be almost uh, at 750, you can say. Now, if I compare all of these bars for the comparison, I can say bar C is having the more numbers than all others, and bar B is having less numbers than all others.